I'm Stefan DeBeule. I'm Director of Sales Engineering for Video and Cloud in EMEA in ARRIS. One of the things that we are working a lot on now is helping service providers to introduce new services quickly to the market. But one of the challenges that we have is that for these services it's often very difficult to predict how much they will be used. Yeah? So it could be that, take for example a new service like Restart TV or Network DVR or a backward CPG. So we know that people are really interested in it, but it's not always easy to predict what the peak usage will be. So there we are looking now at cloud and virtualization technologies to help to overcome that, to have a much more flexible system to introduce new services and to much more elastically scale the infrastructure in line with the need at that time rather than trying to predict it months up front. So if suddenly you get a peak of usage, what you do is you spin up more virtual machines. So it's like virtually installing extra server capacity to handle that capacity. And when it goes away, because there was an important football match or I don't know what, so the peak goes away, you can scale that down and reuse those resources again for something else. So you're much, with the cloud technology, it's much easier to adapt your infrastructure to the actual need at that time. Of course, the cloud has a lot of benefits for the operator because he can handle it more efficiently, but there is also quite an impact on the consumer itself. So first, the consumer will see new features being introduced much more quickly. Because you have a cloud infrastructure, it's much easier to introduce new features, to test them out. So the life cycle of 6 to 9 months to introduce a new service is suddenly weeks, like it is in the internet world. So you will get a much more compelling experience. And at the same time, because you can elastically scale the capacity, you will also not have, as a consumer, the challenge of a video that is buffering or just no video at all because the system is in overload. So you get, as an end user, a much more compelling experience with more features quicker. So overall, it's also great technology for the end customers. So service providers in EMEA are in a very competitive market. So people don't pay that much for their pay TV system as they do, for example, in the US. In a lot of markets there are also free-to-air type of offers. So you can get already a nice bouquet of TV services without paying anything. So there's really a pressure on service providers to do things very efficiently. And there definitely the cloud comes to help. As I explained, it helps really to be more flexible in terms of trying to predict the market, and if you're wrong, to correct it, right? Because you can implement new features, test new features quite easily in the cloud. And on the other hand, it helps to, on the infrastructure side, to just use what you need, right? So it's really helping them to be much more cost efficient in a very competitive marketplace.